died, so I had to go find an outlet, all that. So I'm back. So where we left off at? Yes, my ADHD. So I have ADHD, you guys, and I'm a bit slightly autistic. Maybe I just never got really seen for that yet, but I really feel like I am autistic though. So and then I talked about my anxiety performance, which is extreme. It's really strange. Like all this was so big in my head, in my mind for so long, like to the point where I repeatedly reflect on all like what it gave me, what it done to me. I could like how cringy certain experiences was for me because of these things, and then now I'm like, it's really not a big deal. It's really not at all. Like I'm like I made it bigger than what it actually is. Okay, the other thing is my truth is I make a lot of mistake. Like I'm not just saying it or over exaggerating, you guys. Like I really do make a lot of mistakes, more than the average being. But what I've learned through my experiences is that when I do make those mistakes, oh, thank you, Yari. I appreciate that. That's so sweet. Um, I do make a lot of mistakes, and but what I realized with that is that's how I learn. Like I know that that's what people say. Oh, when you make mistakes, you learn from it. It makes you more wiser. Yeah, it's not just a saying for me. It's like I feel like I represent that. But the thing about me is what I've learned is I can make the same mistake twice if I haven't learned something about it. And you guys may like be like, duh, like if you make it twice that means you haven't learned something. But like I'm talking about every detail of it. It's like the way that my mind works is going back to it's I learn very slowly. Like it's slow. Okay, that's something I picked up on growing up. I learned slow. Um than the average being. But I thought it was such a character flaw. I thought it was just like a hindrance. It was such a hindrance to me in my growth. But I'm like, no, it's actually my power because when I learn slow, okay, when it's like a delay, okay, when I make mistakes, it's like I see things clearly that if I were to learn at the same pace as everybody else, or if I were to learn fast, I wouldn't caught it. So it's like I feel like the way that my mind works, it has to learn slow so I can catch every little detail, every little thing, because like that's like to the detail. Like how the universe is so big, it's filled with billions and billions and billions of stars, right? We all know that. But that's how my mind is. It's like I have to know every piece of that star, like that one star, and then I can connect to the other star, and then the other star. It's like that's how my mind is. I have to know every detail of that dot before I can like say, oh, I mastered that learning, or I understand that. So when I make the same mistake twice, that means that I may have learned something of that mistake, but there's something else with that mistake that I miss. So I have to go back and like learn more. So it's like every little detail. So that's just how my mind works. I make a lot of mistakes. So yeah, that goes to my next thing. I learned slow and I learned differently. So throughout my life, I got made fun of by family members, by strangers, by people who may have the same experience as me, or I may have experience with, I should say. When I would make mistakes, or when I would make mistakes, it's the most simplest mistake, but again, my mind works differently. It works very slow. And when I would make it, people will say, like, people that look at me like, oh, this girl's slow. Or my family, they had this nickname for me in Creole. If you guys don't know, I'm Haitian. In Creole, they'd be like, oh, you bebe. That means like, oh, you just slow. Like they always used to say that, but in my heart, and I always knew that I was the most smartest person in the whole room. It's just my reality didn't reflect that, if that makes sense. Like it didn't reflect that. Like they didn't see that, but I'm like, I'm the most smartest person in any room that I walk in, but people won't know that because I it's like my mind works so slow. It works slow, but once I get it, I get it. But I get it. I understand more than you. Like I don't just get it. It's like I understand more than you. I get to the point. I get to the root of it. Like, do you know why A exists? Do you know why B exists? Do you know why we have the alphabets? Like, do you know, like, yeah, you learn the order of it, but do you know why we have it? It's like, that's how my mind works. It's like, I can learn, it may take me a while to learn in your pace, but I can learn that and then better. That's just how my mind is. Like, I learn every detail of it. It just takes me a while. Okay. That's something that I learned, but I use it as power now. Like when people say that now, I'm like, yeah, it's true. I learned slow. It doesn't have to be what people make it to be. You know, like, oh, this girl learns. This girl is slow. This girl is like so slow. Like, I got this. It's so quick. Like, I heard this all my life. This girl is so slow, like hurry and it's like, and that's why I always say slow and steady win the race. Like God was like basically telling me like, do not listen to these people, do not pay attention because they don't know you, they don't know the heart that you have, they don't have your mind. No one, like, they don't have your mind. So let them believe what they want to believe. Let them say what they want to say. Like they do not have your mind. Your mind works this way for a reason, for a purpose. It's okay for a reason, for a purpose. You work differently. You're not the same. Like I kept treating myself like I kept being harsh to myself. I kept putting pressure on myself. I kept, comparing myself. That was a big thing. I kept comparing myself to my peers. Like, damn, I wish I can learn so fast. I wish I can be like this person. Like, I wish I could, be so smart and like prove everybody wrong. Like, I told you, like, I'm not dumb. Even though I knew that I wasn't. I always used to say that, but now I know that this is my power. Like, this is not a disadvantage. It's actually an advantage for me. Like, I don't like it doesn't have to be a hindrance. That's what I'm trying to get at for you, like for you guys to understand. It I didn't have to see it in that way. People made me feel that I had to see it that way. If that makes sense, like I was flawed, and I believe what I was conditioned to believe, like what I was conditioned to believe. I believed in that for so long, and that was my hindrance because I believed in that. And I'm like, no, it is what it is. You work slow. You're not like everybody else. Stop trying to be like everybody else because you will never be like everybody else. Be you. Like start trying to like fit in. Start trying to mold yourself to work fast. To like it was another thing I did with that. Like trying to make up what I lack. What is that? To overdo it. I overdid it to like make up for what I lack. What was like to make up, me being slowing everybody down. So I was trying to overdo things, like try to like overachieve in some way. So and that was a hindrance for me because I wasn't living authentic. Overcompensate. Thank you, thank you, Shaylee. Oh, I love that name. Thank you, Yari. Thank you, you guys. So that was what I was doing for a while. And then I'm like, you know what? Just let them feel how they feel, let them think how they think. But it's what matters is what I think, how I feel. And that's it. That's all. And it took me a while to get to this point, but this is my truth. So I wanted to like tell you guys like my experience and what I was going through for a very long time and how much it really affected me. Like it affected my whole life. So basically what I learned is the more I understand, the more in control I am. That's what I've learned overall in my truth. The more I understand, the more in control I am. And it's the overall message is live authentically yourself. Don't allow your past experience to be a weight. Set yourself free. Like use it as your power to set yourself free. Like, don't allow it to be a weight because it was cringy or because it was embarrassing. Like, it doesn't have to be. It's only if how you look at it. So that's my truth. So this is part two of my truth. Part one, I kind of described it to you guys. Yes, we are always in control. Thank you, Shaylee. It's I had to remember that. My experience had to taught me that. So I'm grateful that I've been through that because it taught me. So I'm grateful because I saw what I need to see, and I need to understand that. So with that being said, I want to share my truth with you guys so that this is not, I don't consider myself a victim or anything. It was just me being authentic. I wanted to be more open with you guys, more vulnerable, and also to the world. Because I'm like, I'm not allowing anyone to use this against me anymore. I accept everything of me and I love everything about me. So this is my power. It's not a hindrance, and I'm not flawed. I am exactly who God made me to be. And that's it. Thank you, you guys. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna go to the next video, which is the Cinderella decoding. We're gonna do that next. All right. All right. Bye.